Your boss isn't just hard to work with, they're making you sick. Literally. If you're waking up anxious, second guessing your worth, or crying after Zoom calls, this episode is for you. We're talking about how to survive and win when your boss is toxic. I'm giving you 5 moves to protect your career, your peace, and your next paycheck, even if you can't quit yet. I'll also tell you when it's time to lawyer up and when it's time to walk away. So let's get into it. Hi, I'm Rory Verrett, and welcome back to the channel. I'm an executive recruiter and executive coach, and this is your go-to space for powerful, real-world career advice designed for professionals who are ready to lead, grow, and transition into their next best role. Today, we're talking about one of the hardest challenges a professional can face: how to work with a toxic boss. Not a difficult boss, not a demanding boss, but a truly toxic boss. If you've ever had to deal with one, you already know this kind of leadership doesn't just hurt your job performance, it impacts your health, your self-esteem, your relationships, and in some cases, your entire sense of identity. If you're in this situation right now, I want you to know 3 things. You are not imagining it. You're not weak for being affected, and you're not powerless. This episode will give you the tools you need to survive, thrive, and when the time is right, decide. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell so you don't miss future videos, especially if you're navigating a career transition. And if you're ready to make a powerful move toward a healthier, more purposeful role, check out my career transition blueprint at ProtegeLeadershipAcademy.com. It's designed for leaders like you who are ready to move on from being stuck to being strategic in a highly competitive job market. Let's start by naming the elephant in the boardroom. Toxic leadership is alarmingly common, and it's not just your imagination. According to a 2023 study by the American Psychological Association, 19% of U.S. workers say their workplace is toxic. Among those workers, nearly 60% say their mental health has suffered as a result. Here's the twist most people don't talk about. Many toxic bosses are not inherently evil people. Some are deeply insecure. Some are just mentally unwell at the moment. And some were never trained to lead, only to hit metrics. In fact, a recent report from the Lancet Psychiatry Journal found that executives and senior leaders are experiencing increasing rates of depression and anxiety, largely due to isolation, pressure, and chronic stress. These are untreated issues, and they often show up as controlling, dismissive, or narcissistic behavior toward employees. But let me be clear, a leader's unaddressed mental health challenges do not excuse toxic behavior, especially when it's harming others. But understanding the root can give you a clearer, more strategic perspective. Let's talk about what you can do. Here are 5 powerful strategies you can use to survive, thrive, and determine whether it's time to leave a toxic work environment. Number 1, document everything, even when it feels petty. If your boss consistently berates you, gaslights you, or undermines your work, or creates a hostile environment, keep records. This isn't just about covering your backside, it's about gaining clarity. When we're in a toxic dynamic, it's easy to start questioning ourselves. Documentation creates objective evidence. Log interactions in a private, secure place. Include dates, times, exact quotes if possible, and how the situation affected your work. Save emails, Slack messages, and any performance feedback. Not only will this help you if you need to speak with HR or an attorney, but it can also help you see patterns and decide your next move more rationally. Number 2, don't go it alone. Build your personal board of directors. Toxic bosses often try to isolate high-performing employees to keep control. Don't let that happen. You need trusted people in your corner, a peer you can trust, a mentor who's not tied to your current employer, a therapist or coach, an HR ally if available. This is your personal board of directors, people who see you clearly, who can help you make sound decisions, and who can remind you you're not the problem. Let me say that again for the people in the back. You're not the problem. You may have skills to sharpen or boundaries to strengthen, sure, but you're not the reason the environment is toxic. Number 3, set micro boundaries that protect your peace. In a toxic workplace, you may not be able to control the culture, but you can reclaim some agency with micro boundaries. That means not answering emails after 7 p.m., redirecting gaslighting conversations back to facts, keeping meetings short and focused, speaking up clearly when something is inappropriate, even if it's just saying, "Let's take a pause here," or "I'm not comfortable with that tone." Boundaries don't have to be confrontational. They're about protecting your energy so you can think clearly and avoid the slow erosion of your mental health. Number 4, get clear on what you're learning and what you're losing. Every job teaches you something, even the bad ones. Ask yourself, what skills have I gained here despite the dysfunction? What qualities have I developed? How has this situation revealed my values? But also be honest. What has this role cost me emotionally, physically, and spiritually? If the losses are outweighing the gains consistently, it's time to plan your exit. But leave smart, not desperate. We'll talk more about that in a moment. Number 5, use legal support strategically, not emotionally. Now, let's talk legal. When should you consult an employment attorney? Here are the signs. You've experienced discrimination or harassment. You've been retaliated against for raising concerns. You're being pushed out unfairly or constructively terminated. You're negotiating a severance or facing a wrongful termination. Don't wait until you're fired. Many employment attorneys offer consultations, and the earlier you loop one in, the more strategic options you'll have. Bring your documentation. Be specific, but a word of wisdom. Don't use lawyers to validate your anger. Use them to protect your rights and power. That's a very different energy. There's a moment in every toxic job where you realize this isn't going to change. Maybe you've tried to give feedback. Maybe you've escalated concerns. Maybe you've just been holding on because you need the paycheck. That's okay, you're human, and survival is honorable. But you weren't born to survive forever. You were born to lead, to build, to serve. And there's a cost to staying too long in the wrong place. So, how do you know when it's time to leave? Ask yourself, is this job aligned with the kind of leader I want to become? Can I grow here without compromising my health or values? Am I staying out of fear or out of purpose? If the answer points to the door, that's your next assignment. Not to rage quit, not to burn bridges, but to prepare your exit like a CEO. And that's where my career transition blueprint comes in. It's a step-by-step guide for professionals who are ready to move on with clarity, confidence, and strategy. Whether you've been with the same company for 15 years or you're trying to recover from burnout and betrayal, I'll help you build your next chapter from a place of power, not panic. You can learn more and enroll at ProtegeLeadershipAcademy.com. And yes, you deserve better. Let's end with this. A toxic boss can make you question your value, but your value is not up for negotiation. The fact that you care, that you're trying, that you're researching how to navigate this, that tells everyone around you everything they need to know about your character. You're not alone, you're not broken, you're not stuck. You're in a season that's teaching you something, and the lesson may just be that you were made for something more. If this episode resonated with you, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, drop a comment below and tell me what your biggest takeaway was, and share this with a colleague who needs to hear it. Until then, be good to yourself. And remember, the way someone treats you says more about them than it does about you. But the way you respond, that says everything about where you're headed. See you next time.